Bonjour à tous et à toutes, and welcome to Bilingual FR. I am Madame Cordell, and as promised, today we are going to cover the French AQA GCSE speaking exams, and I'm going to give you some tips and advice and kind of guide you through the exam. Okay, so the higher tier exam lasts between 10 and 12 minutes, and you will get an additional 12 minutes supervised preparation time. Okay, so your speaking exam accounts for 25% of your overall grade. So that's a quota, which is not negligible. And the speaking exam is divided into 3 parts. So first you have the role play, which lasts approximately 2 minutes and accounts for 15 marks, so a quarter of your overall speaking grade. Then you will have a photo card, which lasts approximately 3 minutes, and you will get, again, 15 marks for this part of the exam. And the last part of your speaking exam is a general conversation. This one is longer. It lasts between 5 and 7 minutes. However, usually it's kind of 3.5 minutes for one topic and then another 3.5 minutes for another topic. Okay. So overall, you will get 4 different topics over the 3 themes for your speaking exam. So there are 5 tasks for the role play. And each of which will be awarded up to 2 marks for communication. Okay, so that's 10 marks. So 1 for each sentence you will say. And you will get an additional 5 marks, up to 5 marks. That will be for the use of language as well as the knowledge that you will be applying for this part of the exam. And this makes a total of 15 marks, which is the same as the photo card. So use your preparation time wisely. However, remember that you also have to prepare for the photo card. So don't spend more than 5 minutes on the role play before then moving on to preparing for your photo card. Okay, keep your answers clear. Really, you need to prioritize quality over quantity for the role play. And it's really, really important that if you are asked for 2 details, you give 2 details. If you ask for 1, you give 1. Okay. When you see the exclamation mark on the sheet, it means that you will have to answer a question you haven't prepared. And when you see the question mark, it means you have to ask a question to the examiner. So make sure you prepare it in advance and read out your question to the examiner when it's time for you to do so. Okay. Next, we are going to talk a little bit about the photo card, which is the second part of your speaking exam. Alors, the first question is always going to be qu'est-ce qu'il y a sur la photo? Okay, so make sure you prepare for this question because it's always going to come up. It's not going to be a surprise. So make sure you revise the vocab that you need in order to be able to answer this question. Okay, so this I can put up some example on the screen for you. The acronym to remember for the photo card is PALMW. So these have to be mentioned when you describe the photo card for you to be able to get a high grade. Okay, so you will be talking about the people on the photo card. Donc, sur la photo, il y a or il n'y a pas if there aren't people on it. Donc, par exemple, sur la photo, il y a 2 personnes. Or you could say, je peux voir des animaux, je peux voir un bâtiment, and just kind of describe the things that you can see on the photo card. The A stands for action. So you need to tell the examiner what they're doing. You have two ways to do that. So you can use the present simple and say, par exemple, le garçon joue au foot, ou les adultes mangent dans un restaurant. Or you could also use the equivalent of the present continuous in English, which is ils sont en train de jouer au foot. Ils sont en train de manger dans un restaurant. D'accord? L is for location. So you will need to say where they are. D'accord? Donc, you could say c'est à l'intérieur, ils sont à l'extérieur, ils sont dans une maison, ils sont dans le salon, à l'école, à la plage, en ville. And just describe the setting and where they are, so you can get a bit more information across. Next, we have the M, which is for mood. Okay, so you need to tell us how the people are feeling. Okay, the ones that are on the photo card. So, are they happy, sad? Donc, ils sont contents, ils sont tristes. So, yeah, just tell us a little bit about, the mood on the photo, basically. And last but not least, the weather. It's really important you incorporate the weather in that part of the question. Okay? Donc, il fait beau, il fait chaud, il pleut, il neige. And, if they're inside and you can't tell really what the weather's like, you can give your opinion. Giving your opinion gives you a green card to say whatever you want. So, for example, you could say, je pense qu'il fait beau parce que la fille porte une robe et le garçon porte un short et un t-shirt. It's absolutely fine. D'accord? Donc, what the examiner is looking for is really to evaluate the quality of your French and the structures that you're using. So always remember acronate, even in your speaking exam. Okay, that's really, really important. D'accord? Donc, ça, c'est pour la photo. One thing that you cannot do without, is you have to include your opinion and justify it. Okay, so that's really important if you want to be in the top band for the communication. And for this, basically, the speaker replies to all questions clearly and develops most answers. He or she gives and explains an opinion. Okay, so really important you do that. And last but not least, we are now going to talk about the general conversation. Okay, so it is based on two themes that have not been covered in the photo card. And at higher tier, the conversation should last between 5 to 7 minutes. The one thing that you must remember is to ask the examiner a question. If you don't ask the examiner a question over the course of the 5 to 7 minutes, you will lose a point. So it is a requirement for students to ask the teacher examiner a question in the general conversation section of the speaking test. Students who do not fulfill this requirement will incur a deduction of 1 mark from their mark for communication in this section. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. So prepare a few questions ahead of time, one perhaps for each topic, and that way on the day you have some banked that you can just ask on the day. So if you forget an answer that you prepared and that you've learned, and on the day you think, oh, I can't remember what I wrote, it's absolutely fine. You're not expected to remember every single answer off by heart, okay? So you just take a deep breath, you relax, and you just make one up, okay? It's absolutely fine if it doesn't match the one that you'd initially prepared. Okay, and if you don't understand a question at any stage really of your speaking exam, whether it's the role play, the photo card, or the general conversation, that's absolutely fine too. Okay, what's important is that you are able to ask the examiner to repeat or to clarify, and that will be fine. You will not lose any points for this. Okay, as long as, of course, you're able to answer the question. But don't do it too often, of course, because it will affect the fluency of the conversation. But it's fine to ask clarification every now and then. I hope that was useful, and I hope your revisions are going well. And good luck. And let me know how you get on. À très bientôt. Au revoir.